This is Dr. Herbert Harris, and this is our Success Mentorship call number 159. And this call, our topic for today is how to overcome self-doubt. And much of what we cover is in our book, The 12 Universal Laws of Success. And if you don't have one yet, it's available on Amazon, Walmart, most digital bookstores, and of course on our website, www.herbertharris.com. This is a topic that we've really been working on for a while, because one of the things that we see is that last week we were talking about how to make right decisions, how to make better decisions. And once we think about this, how to make better decisions, one thing comes up, and that is self-doubt. Because as you begin to make decisions, there's always that point in which you're not sure of yourself, when you may have a doubt that you're actually doing what you're supposed to be doing and that you're doing it right. Doubt is really worse than procrastination. At least procrastination, you put off until tomorrow what should have been done yesterday. But doubt can stop you flat out in your tracks. Doubt can literally undermine everything you're doing so that you don't get anything accomplished. Shakespeare had a beautiful quote, and he said, "Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt." Let me go over that again. Shakespeare, "Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt." And that's it. That's the power of doubt. That's what doubt can do to you, can do to us, can do to anyone who entertains it and permits it to run your life. Whew. This is such a powerful message today. Let us get prepared. Let us get set up. Let us do our meditation. Just sit straight up in your seat for a moment. Put your hands flat upon your knees. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Let us affirm, I am at peace with myself. Let us say that together. I am at peace with myself. Once more. I am at peace with myself. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Let us affirm that together. My mind is open, receptive, and ready to learn. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Let it out slowly. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Tyrone, come on, join us today. Thank you for joining us. Today, this topic, how to overcome self-doubt, is a profound topic because self-doubt can paralyze you. Self-doubt can stop you in your tracks from accomplishing the things you desire to accomplish. Self-doubt is really a lot like a weed. You know, we live in a world that is constantly moving. We live on a sea of change. We live on a sea of transformation. So each and every day, the world keeps moving exactly. Let me take care of our guests. We have a lot of people joining us today. And let me just mute everybody. Beautiful. Okay. You know, those of you who are watching on Facebook or on Instagram, I'm glad you're there. But we have a whole group that's watching on Zoom, our Success Mentorship Network group. And so the advantage of being in the group is we get a chance to discuss and talk about the message today. So you may want to check that out and click on the link, the Patreon site, patreon.com, Success Mentorship, successnetwork.com, patreon.com/Success Mentorship Network. All right, so everybody's in, yes. Okay, thank you so much. So let us just move along. And so since we live on a sea, we must think about life as like a great a sea that is constantly flowing. And so whenever we choose not to do things, whenever self-doubt paralyzes us so that we can't take action, we literally flow along with the sea. So whatever the world mind is, be it positive or negative, if we don't affirmatively take action and do things, then we literally get swept along with the sea, according to whatever the world has in mind for us. Self-doubt is interesting because I think most people experience it from time to time. There's that hesitation. I love to watch sports because especially basketball, because so often you see that situation where it's like a half a second left and somebody takes that last shot and they either win or lose based on that shot. When you have doubt causes hesitation. It may be just a fraction of a second. It may be 100th of a second, a millisecond. But the moment you permit doubt to come into your mind, it takes up a certain amount of time. And that amount of time that it takes up may cause you to lose your rhythm. I love to watch Michael Jordan, and one of the things he says that as a matter of fact, he said, I have missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I lost almost 300 games. 26 times I have been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. So when you have that moment of doubt that creeps in, it can literally throw your timing off so that you're not able to be in the rhythm for success. So how do we overcome this self-doubt? If self-doubt is that devastating, and I'll share this with you, if you are captured by self-doubt, it will undermine everything you're attempting to do. So how do you overcome self-doubt? What are the keys to overcoming self-doubt? There are 10 keys to overcoming self-doubt. And the first key is to realize that doubt is a negative emotion. Let's go even further. Doubt is a weed. And as a weed, if you permit it to grow, it will consume your garden. Sandra is a gardener. And whenever she's in the garden, she's always pulling up weeds. No matter what, she's always looking down and pulling up weeds. And she said, if you don't pull up weeds, they will consume your garden. And it's a constant thing. And so self-doubt is like that. The self-doubt is a negative emotion. It is a weed that you must pull up, that you must control. Don't let it grow, because every thought we have, every thought and emotion, the emotion associated with that thought is like a seed. And so when we plant that seed in the garden of our consciousness, it will always manifest. So if we plant flowers, in other words, plant positive seeds, good ideas, good people, good relationships, then it creates good flowers, good ideas, good relationships. It manifests congruent with the nature of the seed. But if you plant negative seeds like self-doubt, if you wonder if you can get it done, it can literally take you out. So how do we handle this? Well, one of the things about our mind is that we can program our minds. And we program our minds by talking to ourselves. I like to call it self-talk. One of the things that I love, that one of my teachers had an affirmation, and he said, anytime self-doubt comes into your mind, you disperse it. You pull up that weed, and you do it by saying, that's not for me. So anytime you are confronted with what you know is self-doubt, what you know is a negative emotion that's saying you can't do it, then you dispose of it by saying, that's not for me. And this self-talk is powerful. You know, athletes do it when you see the football team or the band, you know, they get together and we can do it, we can do it, we can fight, the fight song. You remember the little train, was it the train that could, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Well, we have the ability to program our minds and program our existence by telling our minds what to think. So when weeds come into our minds, when self-doubt manifests, and it will, it can, but you say, that's not for me. You know, I love it when you're like basketball and you're at the home court, and one of the chants at the home team often says, not in our house. You're not going to beat us in our house. And that vibration gives them a whole nother level of confidence. So that number one, recognize that self-doubt is a weed. It's a negative emotion. Number two, look into the past. Now, this is a tricky one. You see, whatever you look for, you find. You know, seek and you shall find. So if you look into the past and you look at the negative things in the past, very often self-doubt is based on past failures. You know, you fail time and time again, and you create a failure consciousness, and you say, well, maybe I can't do it. Maybe this is not for me. Can you imagine Thomas Edison, after he had failed over 3,000 times to find a filament for the light bulb? If he had permitted self-doubt to come in, surely somebody else would have found it. Because the one thing about creativity and ideas whose time has come is that if one person doesn't act on that idea, it passes on to someone else. Thomas Edison reprogrammed his mind by saying, I have never failed at anything. I have successfully identified 3,000 ways that will not work. So when we look into the past, look for our past successes. Look for where we overcame things in the past. When we look at our past successes, we can find strength there. Winston Churchill said, you have to be able to fail and yet not lose your enthusiasm. You have to be able to fail and not lose your enthusiasm for success. So when that self-doubt comes in and you look into the past, look at those times that you were able to overcome whatever was going on in your life and be victorious. And I guarantee you that each and every one of you on this call, on Facebook, on Instagram, I guarantee you that you have overcome things in the past. And so maybe just write it in the chat. I have been victorious in the past. I have been victorious in the past. You see, that reprogramming helps you now neutralize this emotion of doubt. So number two, look for past positive outcomes where you were victorious. Number three, talk to someone else about it. Michael Jordan had a coach. And I'm sure there were times when he couldn't hit the side of a barn with the ball. You know, he grew up here in Wilmington, went to the high school here in Wilmington, and he was not that great. He was not that tall. I mean, I think he's what, 6'5", 6'6". So but he had something inside that made him say, I am the greatest. I can do it. Midnight says, I have been victorious in the past. Thank you. And so when you get help from somebody else, be very careful. Never get a coach who has never played the game. When you ask for help, look for somebody who's been there. Look for somebody who's faced the same challenges you've had and that you can say, hey, how did you overcome it? That night, when it was late that night and you realized that all seemed to be lost, what made you get up and fight another round? You know, talk to someone like Muhammad Ali when the rumble in the jungle, okay? When he was not really in top shape and he was fighting for the championship, what did he do? He said, I'll outlast him. I'll let George Foreman punch himself out until he has nothing left, and then I'll dispense with him. So Ali can tell you that. He can say, man, all you got to do is don't go down. If you want to win, just don't lose, no matter what, because sooner or later that person is going to wear themselves out, and then you win. So talk to somebody who's been where you want to go. Talk to somebody who can show you the way, who can give light to it. When you talk to the wrong people, they can confirm your own self-doubt. You talk to somebody who says, yeah, I failed at that too, man. That's really tough. You know, people who commiserate with you when you say, you know, I'm trying to accomplish this and it seems that I failed time and time again. I really need help. And you talk to the wrong person who says, yeah, man, it's terrible. It's tough. It's like that man, the Good Samaritan. The Good Samaritan was crossing the Golden Gate Bridge one day, and a fellow was getting ready to jump off, and the Good Samaritan came up and he said, sir, it can't be that bad, you know. But after the person standing on the bridge started sharing all the negative things and how the world was wrong and the people hated him, the Good Samaritan bought into it, and they both jumped off the bridge. So be selective in who you share your doubts with. Be selective in who you seek out to give help. It really gives us a greater lesson. Surround yourself with people who are better than you are, who know more than you are, who have more assets or more money than you have, who've been places you have not been. So it's very important that you surround yourself with people who can help you, because there will come a time when you need to counsel and to talk with someone. I told my son, if you're the smartest person in the group, you're in the wrong group. Number 4. Now this is a power tool here. When you experience self-doubt, write it down. What do you mean write it down? Write it down. Whatever the situation is, describe it in great detail. For example, if you want to be a speaker, you want to be a motivational speaker, but when you get ready to walk out on that stage, man, you're scared to death. You get butterflies in your stomach. And I mean, you literally get paralyzed. I remember watching a speaker once. I was at a conference and there were about 5,000 people there. And when the speaker came out, he became so paralyzed he could not speak. Finally, someone walked out on the stage and just put his arm around the speaker. When you're confronted with a challenge where there's that tendency to doubt yourself, write down each and every aspect of it. What am I afraid of to go out on the stage? I'm afraid that I'll lose my place. I'm afraid that I'll forget what I have to say. I'm afraid that I won't connect with the people. I doubt that I have the ability to inspire them. That once you write all those things down, one of the things you'll see is that it wasn't that bad. You know, Montaigne once said, my life has been filled with terrible misfortunes, most of which never happened. Once you write it down, it gives you an idea of what it really is. And you say, well, you know, if they don't like me, so what? I've been paid already. Okay. If you think you're going to lose your place, you have that self-confidence, well, I can wing it. They don't know what I'm going to say anyway. So if I leave out some of the points, the audience won't even know it. What am I worrying about? So this idea of writing it down helps you take away some of the scariness. In this writing down, something I suggest that all of us do is each day make a list of the things, the good things you did, the good accomplishments that you did, the jobs that you fulfilled, the good people that you met. Whatever good happened to you, whatever good you experienced, whatever good you performed that day, at the end of the day, write it down. Because think about this. When self-doubt comes at you again, remember we said, look in the past. Well, when you write it down, you can look in your notebook and say, you know what, I've been here. I've done this and I got a t-shirt to prove it. I can move on. Those of you who are listening today, I implore you, every evening before you go to bed, make a list of all the good things you've done. Make a list of your accomplishments. Make a list of all the flowers you encountered during the day. This list will form a foundation and be a power tool for your future. Number 5. This is something my dad told me. My dad was a great philosopher. He had no degrees. As a matter of fact, I concluded at one point my dad really didn't read that well. But he had a lot of common sense, and he said this. He said, realize, he said, people don't really care about your situation. So step 5 to overcome self-doubt is to recognize that people don't really care about your situation. My dad said, don't share your problems with people, he says, because half of them don't care. And the other half are glad you got the problem. Once you recognize that other people don't care about your situation, you're literally free now. You don't have to be fettered or chained by other people's expectations. As that speaker, when you walk out on that stage, you say, I'm going to let it rip. Kaylin says, true. Thank you so much, Kaylin. You say, I'm going to let it rip. I'm going for it. And there's something about choosing that freedom. It's something about not letting other people's expectations become the chains that hold you down. People, there was a saying, it said that people who can't fly criticize those who can. People who can't dance don't understand those who can hear the music. And so once you realize that what other people say and do has no effect on you, you're free. Number 6. When you're challenged with situations, and you know when it comes, when you're sort of sitting there by yourself and you have a decision to make and you're wondering if you're going to do it right. Number 6 says, go to a higher authority. Einstein said you cannot solve the situation, you cannot solve the problem at the same level of consciousness that created it. So when I say go to a higher authority, get around some people who've been where you're trying to go. You know, one of the laws of the mastermind says that when 2 or more gather on one accord, I am among them. So if you're feeling down and defeated, get around somebody who's feeling up. Get around somebody who's excited. Go to a higher authority. Have motivational messages, motivational tapes, certain books or passages that you read. There's a tape by A.L. Williams. A.L. Williams was the founder of one of those insurance marketing programs years ago. and he had a motivational tape, and it was called Just Do It. And sometimes you need to hear that. And he said, no matter what it is, if nobody shows up, just do it. If it's a terrible rainy day, just do it. If the crowd around you tells you it's impossible, don't worry about it, just do it. And so this higher authority, develop for yourself positive words, things that you can read over. Many times people, when they face a challenge, they'll read the 23rd Psalm. So have your 23rd Psalm. Have those things that you can read, those tapes that you can listen to, those audios that you can listen to, those people that you can be around who can uplift you when you doubt yourself. Number 7, realize that all setbacks are temporary. No matter how bad it seems, no matter how dark the night, the day always comes. That's a part of the law of life. That all setbacks are temporary, just like with the weeds. Weeds may grow, but if you pull them up, you can eliminate stuff. That even though the weeds may overgrow your garden for a while, you go out there with a rake and a hoe and you can eliminate that situation. Many times when you have a setback, it's to prepare you for the next level. You see, we have to be tested. We are like diamonds. The difference between a diamond and a piece of coal is pressure. The chemical composition of coal and diamond is basically the same, but a diamond is coal that has been put under extreme pressure. So when you have setbacks, it may be the pressure that you need to become the person that you must become to go where you want to go. Willie Jolly says, every setback is just a setup for a comeback. I'll say that again. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Number 8, sharpen your skills. As we are going through the different experiences of life, we know what we're good at. We know what we're not good at. And so when you have that moment of self-doubt, if that doubt is based on your lack of skill, when in your mind you've said, I'm not really that good at writing, I'm not really that good at selling, I'm not really that good a student, whatever it is, that work on your skill level. One of my great friends, Jill Pearson. Jill is a marketer and a trainer, and one of the really best out there. I mean, she's excellent. And one day we were talking, she said, well, I practice. I'm like, you're one of the top speakers. Why would you practice? She said, because I want my skill level to always grow. And so when you sharpen your skills, something happens. It's a commitment to be better, a commitment to do better, and it creates a vibration within you that makes you open and receptive to more. So as your skill level grows, your ability to do more grows. And as your ability to do more grows, you need more skills. Number 9. This is a biggie, folks. Don't beat yourself up. When we are confronted with decisions, situations, and we have doubt, don't beat yourself up if you've made wrong decisions in the past. Don't beat yourself up if things don't work out the way you thought they would. Never acknowledge failure. You see, when you beat yourself up, it literally destroys your initiative, because now you're piling on negativity on negativity. When you beat yourself up for failure, you're like planting weeds. And if you plant weeds, they will consume your garden. So don't beat yourself up. Recognize that everything is for a purpose, that you either succeed or you learn more. And in any event, you're better off. And finally, number 10 is to realize that you can always course correct. They say success ain't permanent and failure ain't final. Success is a continuous realization of a worthwhile purpose. And failure is a continuous learning process to help you get better. The fact that you can always course correct is powerful. The second law of success says, be not conformed to this world. In other words, whatever the situation is you're confronted with right now, don't worry about it. Be not conformed to this world. You don't have to stay stuck there, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, by thinking a new thought, by reprogramming your consciousness, by taking control of your emotions, your thoughts, your instincts, and everything, so that you can have the self-discipline to do what must be done. So how do we overcome self-doubt? Let's review these 10 keys, because each and every one of us will be confronted with it at times, but it's that we're not overcome by it. We often talk of faith as the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So doubt undermines faith. Faith can neutralize doubt. So the 10 keys to help you overcome self-doubt. Number 1, to realize doubt for what it is, a negative emotion, a weed. Number 2, to look into your past for the positive things that you've done, for the positive outcomes where you can change your frame of reference from failure to success. Number 3, talk with someone who's been there. Talk with someone who's faced the challenges you have and have overcome. Number 4, write it down. Whatever the confrontation is, whatever the things you doubt yourself about, to write it down. What is it about it that makes you doubt? What is it about it that causes you fear? What is it about it that causes you unrest? Number 5, realize that most people don't care about what you do or what you do not do. To free yourself from other people's opinions, whether it's criticism or even if it's complimentary. Even if it's complimentary, free yourself from that. Interesting. Free yourself from that. Number 6, get a higher authority. Always have somebody you can go to. Always have some message, some book, some inspirational process that can take you to the next level. Number 7, to recognize that all setbacks are temporary, that no matter how dark, the light will come. Number 8, sharpen your skills. Sharpen your skills. I don't know how to make this go away. This person keeps. Sharpen your skills so that you can always get better. Number 9, don't beat yourself up, no matter what. And finally, number 10, remember that you can always course correct. When we take these 10 really tips, these 10 ideas, these 10 suggestions to help you overcome self-doubt, Vincent van Gogh said something very powerful. He said that if you hear a voice within say, you cannot paint, then paint by all means, and that voice will be silenced. If you hear a voice within you that says you cannot do it, that makes you doubt whether you have the ability to do it, then do it, and it will be done. Action neutralizes doubt. These 10 steps can help you overcome self-doubt, can help put you in a position where you can write your goal. You can make a plan. You can take action. And you can know that every time self-doubt creeps in, you have the ability to say, that's not for me. Every time we hear a negative comment, we can say, that's not for me. When we can do this, when we can overcome self-doubt, there's nothing we cannot accomplish. We can spread our wings and fly to our dreams. We have the ability to be whatever we want to be, do whatever we want to do, and have whatever we want to have by taking action with confidence and faith that we can accomplish whatsoever we say. Always knowing that the best is yet to come. Thank you. Thank you so much. Purpose University, thank you for joining us today. My good friend, thank you so much for joining us. So many of you have joined us on Instagram and Facebook. Once again, I want to thank you for being with us. As we close out the message today, all of our Success Mentorship classes are on our Success Mentorship Network. And love to have you a part. Now that we're completing, those of you who are on the Zoom, now we're going to have discussions and talk about the message we heard today. You can be a part of that. Go to www.patreon.com/Success Mentorship Network. Once again, this is Dr. Herbert Harris saying, be what you want to be, do what you want to do, and have whatever you want to have, always knowing that the best is yet to come. And so it is. Those of you online, stay online on the Zoom.